In this video, we are going to discuss about growth charts. Growth chart is nothing but graphical representation of anthropometric parameters. It is There are many growth charts, that is NHS growth charts, CDC growth charts, WHO, IAP and WHO combined growth charts. WHO growth charts, that is designed in 2006. It is the preferred growth charts for child less than 5 years of age. Based on the study conducted in 6 countries, the study is MGRS, that is multicentric growth reference study. Which are the 6 countries used? See, there is one strategy called as UNICEF's GOBI strategy, that is growth monitoring, G for growth monitoring, O for ORS, B for breastfeeding, I for immunization, and 3F, female education, family spacing, food supplementation. This is the UNICEF's GOBI strategy to improve the health of the child. Same we are using 6 countries just for mnemonic purpose, that is UN GOBI. U for USA, N for Norway, G for Ghana, O for Oman, B for Brazil, I for India. In India, the study was conducted in New Delhi. WHO took healthy, exclusively breastfed children and without any maternal risk factors like maternal smoking or alcohol. The other studies, that is NHS and CDC studies, also took formula fed infant. So now not used. We use WHO or WHO IAP combined charts. This is based on WHO charts for age less than 5 years and IAP charts for 5 to 18 years. So we are using WHO and IAP combined growth charts. This is WHO and IAP combined growth charts. It also tells about weight for age. It also tells about weight for age, weight for height for age, weight for height, that is BMI, and mid-parental height. Suppose if the child is 9 years and the weight is 20 kgs, so we can plot 20 kgs in the year of 9. So this is the point. Getting it right? And same 9-year-old child with 120 centimeter height. So it's coming under just below the third centile, that is less than -2 standard deviation, that is short stature. So we can check weight also in same chart, height also in same chart, BMI also in same chart. 140 kg 9-year-old child with 20 kgs weight and 120 centimeter height. So it is coming just below this line, that is underweight. So in this chart, if child is falling between these two lines, it is overweight. If it is above this red line, it is obese. If it is between this yellow line and black line, it is normal. If it is less than this black line, this is underweight. So this chart tells about everything. This chart is used for child more than 8 years, till 18 years. This is WHO and IAP combined growth charts. And there is something which is in the side, that is mid-parental height percentile calculator. Suppose if the father's height is 162 and mother's height is 146, we'll join both the lines and the child's height should fall between 3rd to 10th centile. That is between these two lines, the child's height should fall. If it is below this line, it is not because of genetic cause. Getting it right? It is because of some other cause. Suppose if the father's height is 157 and mother's height is 141. So child will fall below third cent, somewhere here, for the genetic potential of the child. The short stature is because of genetic potential, not because of any disease. Getting it right? This is how we calculate mid-parental height. We combine these two, mother's and father's height. Where does it is falling below third centile or between third or 10th or between 10th or 15th? Same we plot for the height of the child. If the child is falling between the mid-parental height range, then it is normal for the child. Plus or minus 6.5, 6 centimeter is acceptable from mid-parental height. This is pink chart. Pink chart is for girls and blue chart is for boys. Same thing. But there is one disadvantage in WHO and IAP combined growth chart. See here, the lines are very much crowded. If suppose the child is 1 year and child is measuring 70 centimeters, see, we are plotting it somewhere here. The lines are so crowded, it's very difficult to plot where the child belongs, either between 25 to 10 centile or 10 to third centile. So for less than 3 years, we prefer using WHO charts because the lines are very much crowded in WHO and IAP combined growth charts. Getting it right? And there are two types of WHO and IAP combined growth charts. That is based on percentile, and one more chart is based on standard deviation or Z-score. So it's good to use standard deviation or Z-score based chart because many classifications is based on standard deviations. This is weight for age chart, WHO chart. Weight for age, WHO chart. It doesn't tell anything except for whether child is underweight for age or what. It doesn't tell whether the child is acutely malnourished or chronically malnourished. It only tells about underweight or not. Suppose if 2-year-old child falling below -2 standard deviation, it is underweight for the age. If it is between 2 to -2, it is normal. If it is more than +2, it is overweight. It only tells weight for age. It doesn't tell whether it is acute malnutrition or chronic malnutrition. So this weight for age chart is waste. It doesn't tell anything. Only underweight it will tell. So this is weight for age chart for girls 0 to. This is height for age. Height for age chart for boys 0 to 5 years. So height for age. See, suppose the child is 5 years and the height is 100 centimeters. So it is falling below -2 standard deviation. If it is below -2 standard deviation, we call it as stunting. Height for age, that is short stature or short stature. If it is less than -3 standard deviation, if the child is 5-year-old child measuring only 90 centimeter, then it is falling below -3 standard deviation. It is severe stunting. Okay. Anything between -2 to +2 standard deviation. This is +2 standard deviation. This is -2 standard deviation. It is normal. If it is more than +2, it is tall stature. So height for age, if it is less than -2 standard deviation, it is called as stunting or short stature. Similarly, we go for this is for boys. Then we go for weight for height. This is wasting. If it is less than -2 standard deviation, suppose if 120 centimeter weight is 18 kg, it is falling below -2 standard deviation, it is wasting. If suppose same 120 centimeter is 16 kg below -2 standard deviation, -3 standard deviation, less than -2 standard deviation is wasting. If it is below less than -3 standard deviation, it is severe wasting. Severe wasting. Okay. If it is more than 2, it is overweight. See, it's these two charts are very much important. Suppose if child is ill for 1 month, usually after 3 years, usually after 3 years, child after 2 years, child grows 5 to 6 centimeters per year. If child is sick for 2 months and lost, so child will lose only 1 centimeter of height. So 2 months no height is happening. So child has lost 1 centimeter. So see 2-year-old child, the child was around 90 centimeter. 2-year-old child, the child was around 90 centimeter. Now the child lost 1 centimeter. That is 86. So it's not causing any much difference in the. So still child is falling on the normal. Suppose if the same child is sick for 2 years till 6 months. So the child has lost around 3 centimeters. Or the same child is sick for 1 year. The child has lost 6 centimeter. So the child is 90 even at 3 years. So 90 even at 3 years. So it is falling below -2 standard deviation. Getting it right? It is below -2 standard deviation. Whole year the child has not grown because of some illness or some malnutrition or anything. So it is falling below -2 standard deviation. That is coming under stunting. If child is sick for 1 or 2 months, it doesn't change much of height for age parameter. So it doesn't tell about acute malnutrition. Suppose if the child is sick for very long or child is not growing for very long, that is around 1 year, the child is falling below -2 standard deviation, that is stunting. So stunting tells about chronic malnutrition. Chronic malnutrition. Wait for age, wait for height is nothing but wasting. Tells about wasting if it is below less than -2 standard deviation. See, same child. See, child is around 90 centimeter. Okay, child is around 90 centimeter. Child is 12 kg. And there is 2 months of illness. Child lost 3 kgs. Child lost 3 kg. Now from 12 kg, the child has fallen to 9 kg. Getting it right? So it is falling below -2 standard deviation. If it is below -2 standard deviation, we call it as wasting. So wasting tells about, see, only 2 months, height is not falling that much. Only means height won't fall, height is not growing. So height gain is not that much, but the weight loss is too much. So if suppose in acute illness there is more loss of weight. In chronic illness there is more loss of height. So weight for height, that is wasting, is suggestive of acute malnutrition. And height for age, that is stunting, it is suggestive of chronic malnutrition. These are the only two take-home messages from this video. Height for age is less than -2 is stunting, suggestive of chronic malnutrition. Weight for height less than -2 is wasting, suggestive of acute malnutrition. Suppose same thing from -2 to -3 standard deviation. Wasting less than -2 to -3 standard deviation. We call it as, it is acute malnutrition. We call it as moderate acute malnutrition. Suppose if the same it is below -3 standard deviation, we call it as severe acute malnutrition or severe wasting. Same thing in stunting also. If it is less than -2 standard deviation, we call it as stunting. If it is below -3 standard deviation, we call it as severe stunting. This is what stunting and wasting grade according to WHO. In pediatrics practice, only two things are below less than -3 standard deviation. That is SAM, severe acute malnutrition, and one more thing is microcephaly. Same way, in head circumference chart, suppose if the child is 5-year-old child and head circumference is 45 centimeter, it falls below -3 standard deviation. That then the child is microcephaly. Between -3 to +2, it's normal. More than +2, it is macrocephaly. In pediatric growth chart interpretation, everywhere it is +2 or -2, except at two places. That is microcephaly, and one more is severe acute malnutrition, where we use the term -3, less than -3 standard deviation. All other places, for stunting, it is less than -2. For overweight, it is more than +2. For wasting, it is less than -2. For a tall stature, it is more than +2. Everywhere it is +2 or -2 except for two places, for that is for microcephaly and SAM. There are few age-independent indices, which is very important for Viva. Kanawati-Maclaurin index, Dugdale's index, Rao and Singh's index, Quackstick, jellyfish ratio, and many more are there. Just remember the names, it's more than enough. So from this class, you should only remember two things. That is, read for height. If it is less than -2 standard deviation, we call it as wasting, suggestive of acute malnutrition. Height for age. If it is less than -2 standard deviation, we call it as stunting. It is suggestive of chronic malnutrition. Until next video, keep revising and like, share, subscribe.